Okay. The English Language by Tiffany, Matthew, Rahib, and Sam. Our thesis, the vast expansion of the English language connected the entire world while also killing thousands of languages and cultures. Is standardization more important than diversification? Birthplace of English is obviously England or the British Empire. Connecting Britain. The isolated nature of England led to a minimal influence from other languages on daily speech. The Church, as well as schools, insisted upon Latin as the proper language. Scholars believe the common language to be unfit for matters of import. Religion. The Catholic Church ruled through Latin, the language of learning. Only a small portion understood the language, even among the clergy. John Wycliffe translated the Bible into English for the masses, against church authority. A big no-no. Religion again. Wycliffe's Bible followed the Latin almost exactly, including several Latin terms and phrases in English for the first time. The Lollards, a secret group spreading the new Bible among the people, was introduced. The beginning. King Henry V began writing court documents in English instead of French, the first monarch to do so since the Norman conquest. The Chancellery carried the shift into other official documents, standardizing the written form of English.
New England, the Plymouth colony, is where the Puritans settled. The Puritans.
And then just click next, I guess. Or what was I clicking? I think I just click next. Yeah. And then start your
Are you like on it though?
Yeah, it's fine. Keep going.
The Puritans and Pilgrims. They came in 1620 in New England. The natives were there before the Puritans. The Puritans built their language called English. The Puritans used native language to describe the things around them. Mistort helped the Plymouth colony. American English and England English. New England, the source of English. Americans took the New England English and made it into their own type of English. West Africa. Slaves created a different language. The language they created was Golo. The slaves spoke the language by putting African and English together. West Africans told a lot of folk tales. Their religion is Christianity. The Bible of English became the book of freedom to them.
Speaking proper. Scholars of mathematics and science, like Isaac Newton, started publishing their books in English instead of Latin. Jonathan Swift attempted to save the English language from never-ending changes, and Samuel Johnson wrote a dictionary of the English language, made up of 43,000 words and definitions, in 7 years, and was published in 1755. Pronunciation became an issue all over the United Kingdom, as some sounds could be spelt in several different ways, while one spelling could have several articulations. Irish actor Thomas Sheridan wrote British Education, a book that attempted to educate all English speakers in the proper pronunciation of words. 19th century was a period when women were more educated and their speech and literacy improved. Then another language revolution came along with the Industrial Revolution, where a steam engine changed the meaning of words like train and tracks. Along with the Industrial Revolution, there was a change in social situation too. The term slum came into use, and rhyming slang became a new form of speech in the lower class, whereas upper class spoke proper and clear English. The 16th and 17th century. The English language was being spread through colonization instead of invasion now. India, Australia, and the Caribbean all were greatly affected by the British rule, and some of their native people's culture were lost forever. The Age of Enlightenment. John Locke thought that the English language could bring peace. He thought if everyone spoke the same language, everyone would understand each other, leading to less problems. And in 1702, printing presses made English the fit language for scholars instead of Latin in England. causing the Great Print Shift. In the 18th century, the middle class in England saw English as a key to the upper class, or a key to becoming successful. How you spoke was an indication of your social class. From the James Watt steam engine in 1756, the English language evolved with technology into the 19th century. In 1851, the Crystal Palace, very large factory in London, brought the Industrial Revolution to England, where a new word for every new invention formed, like lithograph, computer, entomology, and etc. The pronunciation of words or slang became a huge debate. And in the 20th century, English spread through natural selection and became the most global language in the world. 85% of all internet web pages are in English, and it is the most important trading language. A third of the entire Earth's population speak English as either their first or second language. English is still and will forever be evolving. There are 750,000 words in the Oxford English Dictionary today, all the way from the Anglo-Saxon period to today. A word has never been removed once it is added, because it is said to be a part of the history of English language forever. A timeline. India, Australia, and the Caribbean. Was the English language an instrument of colonial oppression, or the means to introduce ideas such as freedom and democracy? In each of these countries, under British rule, the local people and languages were pushed aside. At the local level, the spread and development of English caused a greater distance between the classes. Proper English was thought to be only spoken by high-class individuals, while many different dialects could be found throughout slums of London. For Great Britain, the expansion of English made it feel as if England was the center of the world. Citizens were born into a global language and therefore already had an advantage at the state or national scale. At the global international scale, each nation that English greatly affected eventually had to accept a form of English as their distinct national tongue. But each of these nations lost some of their own culture due to the spread of English, and in most cases were basically forced to adapt to English or they would be left behind. The English language did globalize and connect the whole world with one language. English has never stood still and will keep growing into more of an international language than it is today. Concluding, there are hundreds of social, economic, and political reasons for the spread of the English language, and it has little to do with the intrinsic qualities. Would you rather have a connected or disconnected world? References.